we talked about saving a Sefer Torah with its cover, and we compared it to the case of shechting a korban pesach on Shabbos, when Erev Pesach is Shabbos, and not pulling back the hide completely. So what says midami? You can't compare the two cases. Hasam nase bosis ledovra mutter. The Sefer Torah is permitted to touch on Shabbos. So the covering of a Sefer Torah is a bosis for something that's a dovra mutter. For example, if you place an item on a television, so television is a dovra aser on Shabbos. So it becomes a bosis ledovra aser. Sometimes something is muktzah because it's sitting on something that's aser. But here, the covering of a Sefer Torah is covering something that's not muktzah on Shabbos. But hacha nasa bosis is a dovra aser. But the meat of a korban, Pesach, during the daytime, cannot be touched because it's not capable of being eaten until nightfall. So the hide is a bosis, the davar aser, so they're not comparable. Elahachi kamrele. So this is perhaps what the Gemara was trying to do. If you can save the mantle of the Sefer Torah with the Sefer Torah, and the Mishnah said even if there was some money there, you don't have to take the time of dumping the money out you can schlep everything one time. So lo netatel or agav basar. So shouldn't we be able to touch the hide regarding the basar by the korban pesach? More says again midami. Fine. Money is a davra aser, but the Sefer Torah is a davra mutter. So it's a basis to things that were aser and mutter. Hacha kulan basis is davra aser. Here, there is no part of the korban pesach that is permitted to be touched on that Shabbos. So perhaps this is the comparison. For example, let's say you don't have a container to schlep the Sefer Torah. So it says that you can bring a box somewhere else that has money in it to come and save the Sefer Torah. But there, the money in the box is completely usher. So, now, where do you get this notion that you're allowed to go and bring a box that's got money in it to schlep the Sefer Torah? Well, how do you know that that's true? Are you trying to be medayik from the fact that if the Sefer Torah is in a box already and has money in it, and you're not required to dump the money out, so you're deducing from there that you can then just, from there you took a leap to say that I could then mamish bring a box that has money? That you can't make that leap. Until you take, if you're faced with a box, and if a Sefer Torah is in money, if you spend the time dumping the money, the fire will consume the Torah. It's certainly going to end up burning if you run and bring a box full of money. Really, it's what we said initially, that it is compared to a korban pesach. By Sefer Torah, it's only an inyan of muktzah, or carrying into a rabbinic thing. But by cutting off the hide, that's a mamish malacha of doraisa on Shabbos. So more answers, you're stripping the hide and you don't want the hide. So we're back to our old friend Davar Shem Miskavein. Your intent is to strip the hide so you can get at the emurim. It's not for the hide. So it's a Davar Shem Miskavein, and Davar Shem Miskavein is mutter. So it's the same. It's not. There is no deraisa dika prohibition here either. Right? Even Reb Shimon will agree that in a case where we know 100% that whatever's going to happen is going to happen, you don't have a heter of davar shem iskavin. So the Gemara says the shokale bebarzi. It's you stripped it. You stripped the hide in pieces, in strips, and he has no. It's not really considered hafshata at all. It's not a heter of davar shem iskavin. It's a heter that it's not derech hafshata. So you didn't do the malach of hafshata because hafshata is done where you take the whole hide as one piece. You don't take it in strips. So then the Mishnah said that we save the Sefer Torah. So ulahechan matzilin. So the Mishnah said the machlokes. The Tanna Kama said you take it to a mavui she'ena mefulish. That's usually a three-sided alley that opens up into Rishus Harabim. Meikar adin, it says Rishus HaYachid. The Chachamim made a gzeira that you have to put a lechi nekora there, but otherwise it's only a rabbinic prohibition. But then Beseira Omer Afla Mefulish. Then Beseira said you could put it into a mavui, even if the mavui was a through and through mavui. So the Gemara wants to know Hechi Dami Mefulish. What do you mean that it was a through and through alley? And Hechi Dami Sheina Mefulish. Amar Rav Chizda, Sholosh Mechintzas U'Shnei L'Chayin. If you have three sides to the alley and two lechis, right? A lechi is like a small board that you place at the opening of the mavui into the Rishus Harabim. So you don't have just one lechi, you have two lechis. That's considered a mavui sheina mefulish. It's completely corrected. It's nitter b'chol chaysav. It's like considered that there's an eruv there. You can carry anything you want there. Sholosh mechitzos v'lechi echad zeh mavui mefulish. Rav Chizda says when the Mishnah said a mavi amafulish, it's not our normal understanding of a mavi amafulish, which is a through and through mavi, which is only a two-sided mavi. No, it means it's a three-sided mavi with only one lechi. Now, gentlemen, our chachamim hold that a three-sided mavi with one lechi or one korah is a perfectly good mavi. You can carry whatever you want in there. But this is a das yochid. Tarvayo libid Rabbi Yezer ditnan. How do you hechsher mavui b'mai? How do you correct the mavui that you can carry in the mavui, or you can carry from various chatzeros that enter into the mavui, which are rishus hayochid, into the mavui? Beishamay yavim lechi v'koreh. You need both a cross beam on top and a side beam. You only need one, either one lechi or one beam. So the Gemara is basically saying, according to Rav Chizda, that our Mishnah, when it said either Ben Beseira said in Mavui, they're both talking about three-sided mavuis with some kind of correction. It's just the Tanna Kama said you need two lechayim. And according to Ben Beseira, even one lechi is enough. Amarle Rabba, I don't get it. Shalosh mechitos v'lechi yachov mefulish karizle. You're calling? I mean, that's a fully corrected mavui. According to you, calling that a mavui mefulish? It's a mavui sheina mefulish. The od Rabbana not so tacho achlin mashkin. What's this big heter? Oh, I can bring a sefer Torah. This is a mavui that's been fully corrected. I can carry anything I want in there. Even food, drink, whatever I want. Not just a sefer Torah. So, in contrast to Rav Chizda, El Amar Rabba, shtei mechitzos u'shnei l'chayin zeh mavui sheina mefulish. We're talking about a two-sided alley with a lechi on one side, a lechi on the other side. Zeh mavui, that's considered a mavui sheina mefulish. It's not a through and through mavui. A throughway alley with only one lechi on one side, that's what Beser is meaning by Maveh Mafulish. The Tarvayu Alibid Rabbi Yehuda, they're both going Rabbi Yehuda, Tanya. Yasra Kenam Rabbi Yehuda, Mishi Yeshlo Shnei Batim Shnei Tzidi Rishus Rabim. You have a house on one side of Olympic and a house on the other side of Olympic. Osa Lechi Mikan, the Lechi Mikan, you add a little board on one side of the house and a little board on the other side of the house. O Kor Mikan, or a beam on either side. V'nosa V'nosa B'emsa, you can carry between the houses. Amru Lo, Ein Ma'arvim Rishus Rabim Kach. The Chacham disagree. But the Gemara is saying now that the machlokas of whether it's a mavoi she'eino mefulish or mavoi mefulish is based on this din of Rabbi Yehuda, whether you need two lechis or one lechi. According to Ben Beseir, one lechi is enough. Amalei Abaya, lididcho nami. Abaya said to Rava, l'rabbanan natzil tochach l'mashkin. If according to Rabbi Yehuda, this is the way he matters a mavui she'eino mefulish, then again, if you have a lechi on both sides, you can carry whatever you want there, not just a sefer Torah. Amar Vashi, sholosh mechitzos v'lechi echad zeh mavui she'eino mefulish. That's the regular mavui, and that's why you can carry a sefer Torah there. It's not because the Chachamim say one lechi is enough. And shalosh mechitzos below lechi, that's Ben Beseira who says that Ben Rabban Ben Rab, I'm reading Rashi. Ben Rabban Ben Rab Ben Beseira Rabbi Eliezer Sfir Lahu. They hold like Rabbi Eliezer. The boys shalosh mechitzos or shnei lechayim ba'alma. Normally, it's not like the Chachamim. That makes sense. So it's three mechitzos and two lechis. That's why there's a kula here that you get away with just one lechi. Because normally Rabbi Eliezer requires two. So the only machlokas is how lenient can you get? The Tanakam of our Mishnah says you just remove one lechi, and according to the Ben Beseir, you can remove both lechis. I feel Rabbi Eliezer Domer boin and lechayim, that you need two lechayim, he agrees. So that's how the Gemara analyzed our Mishnah. It comes out very well. Okay, matzilin mazon shalosh seudos. That not only can you save a sefer Torah, but if a fire breaks out, you're allowed to transfer out of the house food for the 3 meals that you're required to eat on Shabbos. Haroy la'adam la'adam, haroy l'bein l'beima. Human food for human food, animal food for animals. You have a requirement to feed your animals as well. Kate's naflat lake b'leilei Shabbos. Fire broke out on Friday night. So you have 3 meals to eat. Mazon shalosh sidus. If the fire breaks out in the morning, b'shachris matzil mazon shtei sudas. B'mincha mazon sudachas. Rabbi Yossi Yomi Nola matzil mazon shalosh. No matter when it breaks out, you can always save 3 meals. Because once you're matir, tircha, you matir the whole thing. Because they're not muktzah. And we're talking about bringing them into a chatzar hama'uriv. There's an eruv with this chatzar. So you might think you could take as much as you want. So no, there's a gzeira that the Gemara is going to tell us why you're limited to what you can take out. And that's what the Gemara doesn't understand. These things are not muktzah. And you're moving it into a chatzar hamu'uriv. There's an eruv between wherever you are in the chatzar. So why are you limited? Because when a fire breaks out, a person is all excited and in panic over his finances. Isharisle, if you permit him to do anything and to save as much as he wants, asi lekavuyi. He'll come to extinguish the fire, which is an isra midoraisa. So it's a gzeira. The person has a barrel of wine on his roof, and it breaks. Mevi kli umeniach tachteha. You're allowed to bring a kli and put it underneath the barrel that's leaking to preserve what's leaking in the barrel. Uvav shlo yavi kli acher v'yiklot. You cannot bring another kli and put on the ground where the wine is going to flow over the roof to collect that. That you can't do. Or kli acher v'yitzarev, or put other kelim around to gather. Now, also my there's no fire. Why did they limit? So there's also a reason there, because otherwise, if you were matir to do whatever you wanted,
but he's living in the Rishus HaYachid, so he has the kli in the Rishus HaYachid. He's losing all his back.
But if they allowed you to bring multiple kelim, you will think, I'm going to go bring other kelim, and he's going to go into Rosh Hashanah and bring from Rosh Hashanah. So in a chanami, it's a far-fetched gzera, but it's a gzera. That's why they limited. By limiting, it puts you on notice. Oh, there's only so much I can do. Gufa. So the Gemara wants to analyze this a little bit more, the case of the barrel. Maybe kli maniach tachteha. However, if all of a sudden guests show up, maybe you can bring other kelim. But you can't bring other kelim and then invite. You can invite and then do this thing. You can't do a harama. Harama is like, doing this trick, but of inviting. But Mishum Marimi, no, you can do the trick. Mechiras Chomit is also harama. Now, what is this machlokas regarding this harama? Lema beplukted Rabbi Yezra B'Shul Kamifluki, the Tanya. Osoves beno, it says in the pasuk in Emor, Osoves beno lo sishchatu b'yom echad. You may not slaughter a parent and a child animal on the same day. So if a parent and a child animal fell into a bore in Rosh Hashanah, Rabbi Yezer Omer Malas Harishon Al Menat L'Shochto. So you can schlep the animal. This is on Yontif, not on Shabbos. So on Yontif, you're allowed to shecht for Ochel Nefesh. So you can say, okay, I want to shecht this animal to shecht it. Well, you're stuck though, because you can't use the same sword for the other animal, because not allowed to shecht both on the same day. Hasheni osela parnosavim komo. The other animal, you got to drop food down to it so it doesn't starve to death, because you can't schlep it up. Rabbi Yeshua Omer malin esarish al manas l'shachto. Animal number one, you bring up with idea to shecht it. But once you get it up there, ain't a shachto. You don't shecht it. Umarim. You make a trick and you say, I really want to shecht the other. Umalas hasheni. Rotza zeh shochet, rotza zeh shochet. Then you can decide which one you want to shecht. You did a trick. And the Gemara wants to say, the machlokas by the chavis is the same machlokas. More says mimai, nothing doing. Dil ma'ad kan lakom Rabbi Yezer hasam. Maybe Rabbi Yezer said that you're not allowed to have a rama by the two animals. You know what? Because the efshar b'parnosa, you can minimize chilul yontiv because you have an alternative. You can just give food to the animal down in the bore. You don't have to do that rama. Aval hacha deloy efshar, but regarding the you're going to lose the wine that's dripping out of the barrel, and you have orchim, so maybe there you would allow the aroma. But kind of like Rabbi Yoshua Hasam, Maybe Rabbi Yoshua only matired the haram mishum deket tzar balei chayim, because there's another aspect of tzar balei chayim going on. Aval hacha the leket tzar balei chayim lo, but maybe there's no permission to do haram and to do haram there. Tana Rabbanan. Hitzel pas nekiya matzel pas hadra. If you saved clean bread, then you have the bread you need, so you can't go back in and get barley bread. But if on the first round you only save pasadra, matzel pas, you can go back in and get the better bread. Then it says matzilim yom kippurim l'Shabbos. So let's say if Yom Kippur was Friday, you could save something that you're going to use for Shabbos. Avalomi Shabbos Yom Kippurim, because you can't be meichen from a higher kedusha to a lower kedusha. And vein tzarich loma that you can't do it b'Shabbos liyontiv v'lo Shabbos l'Shabbos habo. Ton Rabbanon shochach pas batanur. You were cooking bread, baking bread in the oven erev Shabbos. And all of a sudden, the Kiddush Alav Hayom, all of a sudden, the Shabbos came. You got surprised. So, matzilin mozon sholosh seudos. You can take enough bread out of the oven for 3 seudos. V'omer lacherim, and you can tell your neighbors, bo vatzilu lachem. Here, you can. I'm giving you a gift. These chalas, go and take us whatever you can take out. Ucheshehu rodeh is redias apas. So their ovens were not like our ovens. Think about that. They were making pita. They would take flat dough and flap it on the side of the inside of an oven, and then they would use like a pizza, like a pizza, that wooden implement that pizza makers use to
remove the pizza.
Huh?
To remove the pizza from the oven.
But they would use that to remove the pita from the side of the
shovel. Like a shovel.
Yeah, like a
scoop.
Yeah, like what do you use to flip eggs?
A spatula.
A spatula. There you go. We've got.
What's wrong with hands? What's wrong with hands?
No, because they had Redias Apas was done with something like a spatula.
I know.
So it says like this: don't use the special implement, the marde elabisak, and use a knife, because you want to minimize chilul, and so do it b'shinui. More says, what kind of shinui? Blowing a shofar and Redias Apas is not a malacha. It's a chachma. It's a wisdom. Knowing how to do it properly, but that's not a malacha. Says the Gemara, comment the efshel shanui m'shaninon. Based on this principle, very, very simple statement, comment the shaninon shaninon. When I was a medical student, I don't know, it's 40 years ago, mamish. Medical halacha was still in its infancy, and there were shiurim given. I still have a collection of lectures given, to young interns, residents, medical students, of how to minimize, what to do on Shabbos. There weren't these compendiums that exist today. So much material, Nishmas Avram and Rabbi Steinberg and all that didn't exist back then. So there were private. So there is a lot of debate that when a doctor is called to the hospital on Shabbos for a real emergency, so this concept of kamer de efshel shanui m'shaninan, that means whatever you can try to minimize chilul Shabbos, you could do it this way, but if you could do it that way and it doesn't affect anything, you should try to do it that way. So this principle comes up a lot in that way. It means if you can tell a nurse, to do something instead of writing an order. So that's kamadish efshel shanuyim shaninan, the same concept. Amar Rav Chizda. Lo'olam yashkim odam lo'otzar Shabbos. Person has to wake up early on Friday to prepare for Shabbos. Shenema vayaba yom hashishi ve'chidus asher yaviu. Right? This is in the Parshas Haman. Moshe Rabbeinu is going to tell them, on Shabbos, you have to, Erev Shabbos, you're going to prepare la'alter. That means you have what you're going to eat already for tonight. You're going to, you pluck the man this morning. It's going to be prepared already for tonight. Amar Baba. Shabbos chayv adam libtzol shtei kikaros. Person has, this is the chiyuv of Lechem Mishnah from this Gemara. You chayiv to make a motzi on 2 kikaros, 2 loaves. T'chsiv Lechem Mishnah. It says vayihi bayom hashishi liktu Lechem Mishnah shnei omer lechad. When they went out, they found 2 portions of the man. So that's the Lechem Mishnah. Amar Vashi. Chazin leil Rav Kahana denaka tarti ubotza chada. He took both loaves in his hand when he made the bracha, but he only cut one of them, not both of them. That's our halacha. Because loktu ksiv, loktu means he collected them to hold on to, and loktu is plural. So when you hold on to it, you hold on to 2. Rav Zera avabotza kula sherusa. Rav Zera would cut a piece, a big enough piece that he would eat for himself for the whole Suda. And then many people have that minhag to do it like that. Amar Levina Ravashi. So he looks like a glutton. Amar like kiva the chol yuma lo ovid. Every day I don't do this. Vayidnu ovid. It's only because of Shabbos I do it lo mechzik rav nusa. I don't look like a glutton. Ravami Ravasi ki mikul ruif to de ruva sharu ilove. So as you know, when they set up an Eruv for Eruv Chatzeros, let's say you live in an apartment building with 10 different Jews, and everyone is a Rishus HaYachid, there's a Rishus HaYachid where the pool is, or where the lobby is, that are jointly held. So the din is you may not walk from your apartment into the public area, or you can't carry something there. And you can't carry something from your apartment into somebody else's apartment unless you make an Eruv Chatzeros. All 10 people donate money. You buy a box of matzahs or a loaf of bread. You put it in one of the apartment houses. It becomes as if one house. And then everyone can carry everywhere. So that loaf that they used for the Erev Chatzeros, they used to break their bread on that loaf. Amri, hoil v'syavid b'chad mitzvah l'savid b'mitzvah achrina. Since they made one mitzvah with it, let's do another mitzvah with it. So why don't you ask me, sin mitzvahs chavilos. Right? There is a rule that sometimes we don't want to use the same thing. It looks like we're trying to save money, whatever, but I see that they don't ask this here, but it's asked other places. Anyways, Ketzad Nafla Dleika. How many meals is a person supposed to eat on Shabbos? Shalosh. Rav Chidka Omer Arba. Rav Yechlu Shnei Mikrei Chadarshu. This is from Pasuk. It says Vayomer Moshe Ichlu Hayom. Eat the man today. Ki Shabbos Hayom LaShem. Hayom Lo Tinseu Basa. You won't eat it. 3 times it says Hayom. Rav Chidka Sover Hanit Las Hayom Lebar Me'urta. Moshe was told that morning. So you have last night and the 3 ayoms. That's why it's 4. Rabbanon Sari Bahadi de Urta Tanan. That he was told about it already the night before. So it referenced 3 meals only. So just to summarize some halachas. Chayv adam lechol b'Shabbos shalosh sudos. Mizar lechol av suda shlishis v'afilu mitzrach l'tamit tzaz k'dei sheyuchal lechol osam. So you have to eat 3 meals. And the pas that you use to make an eruv, that's the one that you should use in the morning b'shachris. And the sudas Shabbos boitzim al shtei kikros, you make the bracha on 2 loaves. V'ochashtem, you hold both of them. Ubotzei achas, when you cut one of them. Umitzvah throw a prusa hamaspik l'chol sudaso. Mitzvah is to cut a piece big enough that you can eat from the whole suda. It shows that you love the mitzvah of Suda Shabbos. Person should wake up early. Roy lodem lashkim baboker yom hashishi lachim tzorchei Shabbos. Vafilu yesh lo mesharsim, even if he has servants. Roy sheyasa afu atzm malacha l'kavod Shabbos. He should do some malacha for Shabbos. Okay.
All right.
So tomorrow,